Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of STVCastle Chess. And the featured book that I'm going to highlight to you guys here is titled 500 Master Games of Chess, written by both Dr. S. Tartakower and J. Dumont. Now, Tartakower, you would know that name, famous chess player in his own right. And this is a compilation of games taken from separate books, complete in one volume, as it says there in the title. Uh, Amazing book for a good price that I got online. And I highly encourage you guys to check it out for yourselves. Get ready for something very interesting for the content you're going to get out of this book. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of STVCastle Chess. This is episode number 26. And long time coming for more chess related content. So here I am. And a recent book that I got that I bought online is titled 500 Master Games of Chess. And I'm so glad that I got this book because just from what I initially have read, this is going to be a must have for many of you guys who aspire to play good chess. Written by Dr. S. Tartakower, a name that you guys may be familiar with in terms of chess history, and J. Dumont. It's a compilation of games that were in separate books before, but they were just combined together to make this big book, 500 Master Games of Chess. And we're going to highlight this game here that took place in the year 1900 as part of a match. It took place in Munich, Germany, and it pitted two very skilled chess players of their time, two of which have not been talked about in terms of historical purposes. You don't automatically think of these names when you're talking about, oh, who are some of the most like creative chess players out there of all time. And those players would be Alexander Halprin and Harry Nelson Pillsbury. Alexander Halprin was a chess master, a Russian-Austrian chess master who had good moments in the late 1800s, early 1900s, had a long career playing the game of chess. He consistently placed in the top 20 in big-time tournaments when he was active. And when you go through his games, you'll recognize how skilled he actually was as a chess player. And Harry Nelson Pillsbury, that name may be more familiar to you. He was definitely ahead of his time when it comes to American chess. He started playing chess at a very, early age, and then for some reason his life just got cut from him. But when he did play chess, he was an amazing player. You could see it in his games. He actually won the U.S. Chess Championship in the year 1897. So both these players, Halprin and Pillsbury, they're very talented in their own right. So let's get to this game here as part of a match that they played in the year 1900. And this features the Ruy Lopez opening, also known as the Spanish game. Let's get right to it. This is part of a study that I consider to be worthy of a study. Let's just begin with the game. E4, E5. Keep in mind, this is Ruy Lopez. Knight F3, Knight C6, Bishop B5. That's the standard part of the Spanish game. Knight F6, castles, white castles. And then black goes ahead and captures the pawn on E4. So reading a little part of this commentary of this game here in this book, it later on say the seeming sacrifice in which the piece is recovered almost at once is the idea of a German amateur, the Hermit of Magdeburg. Hope I'm not butchering that name. It is not inferior to the usual move number 6, knight b3, knight to bishop 3, or 6, bishop to rook 4, but gives white no tangible advantage. And keep in mind, yes, they're using old school terminology notations here. So when we get to this, d4, knight goes back to d6. This is what the author was talking about. D pawn takes e5. Knight takes bishop b5. Now, at first glance, you're wondering, okay, why did white simply give up that bishop on b5? Certainly, when you're evaluating this, you look at the board, you look at the position of the pieces, and black obviously saw an opportunity to get material, but development kind of suffered here. a4 drives the knight away from that square. d6, black simply ignores that. White goes ahead and advances the pawn again, e6. F takes e6. So the F pawn takes the e6 pawn. White finally goes ahead and captures that knight. A takes knight, b5. Knight goes back to e7. Knight c3. Knight g6. Let's stop right there and see what we got here. Around move 8, which was pawn to k6, back here, this is what the author said. The exploits begin. For more prosaic would be the continuation. This is what the author proposed. Pawn takes knight, knight takes pawn, rook to king 1, bishop to king 2, knight takes knight, pawn takes knight. Simply proposing a more evenly played out game when you read that commentary. Again, I highly encourage you guys to pick up that book. So this is where we left off. Knight to g5, bishop to e7, attacking the knight. Queen to h5, giving the knight protection. Bishop takes knight, g5. Bishop takes bishop, g5. That forces the queen to move. And that's simply a good strategy by white here to put pressure on the black queen. Queen goes to d7, nowhere else to go. b6, once again with aggressive pawn moves. b6, c pawn takes b pawn, b6. Knight to d5. Now, again, you're kind of wondering to yourself, okay, why is this knight considered to be more of a major piece? Why is it intentionally getting into harm's way, being captured by that pawn? Well, here's what happens. The e-pawn takes the knight on d5, yes. It doubles up the pawns, which is not really a good thing. These pawns are double too. So black's structure overall is not really that good, even though black is up in material. The next move here is the kingside rook, rook f to e1 check. The black king has to move. So black moves the king to f8, rook to a3, and you can tell where the rook is going next. It's only a matter of time before you see the rook moving over here. I'm pretty sure you guys can guess that. Knight goes to e5 for black. And then white just simply goes ahead, shows no fear, captures the knight on e5. Rook takes knight e5. D-pawn takes rook e5. And then here we go. Rook slides over to f3 check. King has to move again. King goes to g8. Bishop h6. Let's stop right there. Take another part out of this book commentary here. Move number 20. Here we go. By this new manifestation of the combinative spirit, white still holds his adversary on the qui vive. Now, these are certain terms that I'm not familiar with, so bear with me. The next move by black is queen to e7. According to the book, by this discreet maneuver, black tries to escape the stranglehold, and incidentally, he prevents a perpetual check by what you're about to see here. Pawn takes bishop, rook to knight 3 check, king to bishop 1, then in parentheses here, queen to knight 2, and then queen to king 8 mate. It's just very fascinating stuff when you read this commentary, guys. It's just very fascinating. So all this is to say this. The bishop goes ahead and captures the pawn on g7. Were you guessing that? King takes bishop on g7. There again, while black has material, black's king is clearly exposed to a check pattern. Rook to g3 check. King goes back to f8. Rook to f3 check. King goes to g7. Rook goes back to g3 check. King to f8. And then rook to f3 check. And the game cannot continue because that is perpetual check. And that leads to a draw by force. And this is what we call the Munich Agreement. This is what this game is titled, Munich Agreement, between Halprin and Pillsbury. Simply put, both these guys are, they were well known for being very skilled players. They knew what they were doing on the chessboard. So let's just back this up by a few moves here. By the time white started playing this, move 22 here, rook to g3 check, this is where black went to king f8. Then alternatively, let's just say what if, guys. Alternatively, what if, let's say, white moved here instead? Queen to f3 check. Well, simply put, black would be able to escape. And then where would you go? You could possibly here capture the d-pawn, which would give you some momentum here. The black bishop's not in a good spot. Both the rooks for black, they're not active at all. And the queen is way out here having to defend the king. So black is really not in an advantageous kind of spot here. But then again, if you're white, you don't have a lot of material to work with. You have quite a bit of pawns, but you only have a rook and a queen. So what do you do here? This is where sometimes a draw is very necessary, because in the heat of battle, when you're in the middle of a game like this, sometimes you just have to keep checking the way that these guys were doing it. Perpetual check, draw. Sometimes the best games to learn from, guys, are draws. It's not because of a big win or a bad loss. Sometimes it has to be from a draw. And so the only thought that I have here, guys, and I'm just going to provide you one thought here for this game, is that when you have a situation like this where a perpetual check is very possible, there's no shame in doing it. There's no shame in going for the perpetual check draw. If you're not confident that your opponent is going to fall for any traps that you may set up for him or her, if you're not confident that your opponent is just going to fall for any traps, then just go for the perpetual check draw. There's no shame in it. Just live to fight another day, so to speak. That's really the only key thought that I have when I review this game. It's very straightforward. The Ruy Lopez opening, in and of itself, it's a very straightforward opening. It's to the point. I like playing it. And this is like one of many examples of how you can get a draw-like position out of the Ruy Lopez opening. So that's going to be it. That's going to be just a quick analysis of this game. And you have to give it up for both Alexander Halprin and Harry Nelson Pillsbury for this game. And check out their entire match in the year 1900 in Munich, Germany, by the way. Check out all those games if you can. It's very good stuff. Chess in the late 1800s and early 1900s, it's very much an unsung period of history in the game of chess, to be honest with you. It's something to go back on. It's like just after the time of Paul Morphy, and it's way before the time of guys like Bobby Fischer. Check out that time period, late 1800s, early 1900s for chess. You might find something very unique there. But anyway, I'm done rambling. This has been a clear analysis of a game that I found very interesting in this book, 500 Master Games of Chess, and I highly recommend that you guys pick this up wherever you can, online or elsewhere. So yes, I do have a Ko-fi account. If you feel led to, only if you want to, guys, feel free to donate to my Ko-fi page. More chess-related content is on the way for sure. It's just a matter of scheduling on my part. And one of the goals that I have in mind for this channel, STV Castle, is to further promote chess-related content, such as attending chess tournaments and just really uh, setting the stage for chess games to be played um, on camera, so that you guys can get a view of uh, what it's like to play a game of chess in person. And that's one of the goals that I have in mind, would be to attend a chess tournament and to just eventually, show that to you guys, so that yes, you guys can tell that I'm serious about what I do here. So that's what some of the proceeds would go to for that donation. Anyway, this is Stephen Vitt reporting on chess related content. And sure enough, STV Castle Chess is going to come back with more content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys provide comments down below. Let me know what you think of this commentary and what else you'd like to see. Thank you so much and have a good day.